An ex-user has posted a video of the streets of Goa on New Year's Eve that have now gone viral. The streets, which were largely empty, started a debate online on whether tourism in Goa has reduced. Several users posted counter videos that showed full beaches and pubs, contradicting this post. Soon there were screenshots shared of hotel prices and air travel tickets surging beyond 10,000 rupees that asked the question if it was higher pricing that was costing Goa's tourism. Goa's tourism minister Rohan Khonte has now refuted these claims, calling them false and unverified. Let's start our conversation. Joining me on the telecast is Savio. Savio, thanks for joining me, and your response particularly. You are in Goa right now. Do you think tourists frequenting Goa over the years has reduced this time around?
You know, Megha, over the last couple of months, I've been watching a lot of activities on social media, trying to degrade the tourism potential of Goa, and people with very limited understanding to the strategies that have been deployed by the tourism department, the tourism ministry, and the government of Goa on tourism have been making some ludicrous and ridiculous statements and assertions on social media. For one, let me tell you that tourism has increased, it has not reduced. Yes, there has been people's understanding of tourism is far more different from what they would like to truly absorb. A lot of times people are assuming that tourism in Goa is about the number of foreigners that you see. But no, tourism has shifted in Goa. It is not the number of foreigners that you see in Goa that defines tourism in Goa. It is the number of Indians who are coming into Goa over a period of time that is redefining the tourism strategies in Goa. If you look at the performance last year, we did about 8 to 9 million tourists coming in. Majority of that tourists were Indian tourists. A lot of people from a lot of people have from the Indian travelers from around the country are looking towards Goa as a destination, not only during New Year's, but they come throughout the year. Now, yesterday I was at a New Year's party. There were 1,800 people in this 5-star hotel. The streets were packed, and this is the extreme south, not even in the heartland of parties, as you would call it in Goa. So I think what is important to understand is that Goa's tourism has been changing over the last couple of years. Yes, we are looking at international tourists. We are working towards international tourists, but we are seeing a huge amount of Indian tourists coming in. And please don't tell me, which some people have tried to say, that the Indian tourist does not have money to spend in Goa. They do have money to spend in Goa. Goa is not like Thailand. Please, let's get that clear. Neither is it like Vietnam. Those who are interested in going to Thailand and Vietnam, for whatever reasons they are going for, they are free to go
fair enough. Savio, I also wanted to understand, there are two aspects to this discussion, and I will put them out successively. And talking about the first aspect, do you think, for example, the kind of averseness that the locals have come to have towards tourists, whether we talk about Spain and Venice and different other parts of the world, and they are not happy when tourists come and clog their streets, and they are in large numbers, and they are partying in the wee hours of the day. There's massive traffic jams, and the locals are not happy to have these tourists because it disrupts their life. They are the ones who have to bear the brunt of it because of too much garbage, because of loud music, because of people coming in large numbers, creating noise, and all sorts of things. Do you think people in Goa have a similar sentiment?
No, I don't think that the sentiment is towards tourists. The sentiment is towards a few tourists who actually think that Goa is like a Thailand or a Vietnam, where everything is possible to be done, and some of it is in the nefarious activities that people tend to go to the other tourist destinations for. No, Goa is not only about sex and booze and drugs. That's not what Goa is all about. Yes, there are few pockets that have such activities, but that's not the representative representation of Goa. So tourists need to get it clear. You have some tourists coming into Goa who tend to want to get drunk, who tend to do absurd things on their cars while riding bikes. That kind of tourism, that kind of hooliganism, of course, anybody, even in their right mind, there are a couple of times there was a photograph I put once of a tourist with his pants down riding a bike on social media. Now, are we supposed to allow our daughters and wives and women to see this kind of rubbish? Of course,
Okay.
we are not going to allow
Okay.
it.
All right.
So, tourists also must respect that Goa is about a tourism destination where people are hospitable, people love our tourists, but there is a limit to which such kind of eccentricities can be taken forward. It
Okay,
is not a
fair enough.
Chalta
Fair
Air
enough. Like any
destination.
tourist destination across the globe, Goa is no exception. And yes, there's rowdyism. There's a certain small, tiny percentage of these individuals who call themselves tourists, but under the garb of enjoying themselves and having a merry time, they end up being antisocial and doing antisocial activities, as you mentioned, Savio. And my second aspect to the discussion, and Supriya Srivastava is on the telecast with me as well. She's part of the Travel Corp India, which is a travel trust travel partner of yatra.com. Supriya, thanks for joining me. And my second question, do you think there is now the propensity of the Indian traveler who has to spend just about the same amount of money when he is traveling to Goa or traveling to Kerala or other parts of these, or maybe Andaman, Nicobar or Lakshadweep, and if he spends the same amount of money when it comes to air travel tickets, when it comes to booking a hotel, when it comes to spending a night out on dinners and lunches and sightseeing and going to clubs and pubs and so on and so forth, because the margin in spending the amount of money in Goa or any other tourist destination, particularly in Kerala or other parts of country, is the same, they would rather prefer a Vietnam or a Thailand or any other Southeast Asian country.
Yeah, first of all, Happy New Year to everyone. And yeah, so the thing is, like, it's not about the budget. Yeah, because if anyone is traveling in Goa or in Kerala, it's totally about the vision which the traveler is taking for them, right? Few days ago, it has been seen that in Goa as well, some sexual harassment has been done, right? And this has quite, like, not in itself in Goa, in many of the different states of India, where it has been seen like this misbehavior have been taken place in India as well. So this has enhanced many tourists, foreign tourists, to not to come in, not to entangle in the in the tourism of India itself. And first of all, the thing is like about the cost. So as we know that the right now in these in this economic state of this right now, just wait for a moment. Actually, right now I'm also traveling, so I think this has been something kind of just wait,
okay. I'll come back to you, Supriya. Coming back to you, Savio, the same question I ask you about, the preferences of Indian travelers with having high disposable incomes. And when we talk about the airfare from for example, Delhi to Goa is approximately the same as I would spend on Delhi to Dubai or Delhi to Vietnam or Delhi to Thailand or even Maldives. Do you think these other foreign countries, foreign locales end up trumping domestic locales for a number of reasons? First of all, you can travel to go and travel internationally, and people would prefer that. Second of all, because of a number of issues that are faced in domestic destinations. Number three, when we take a look at the kind of experiences a traveler gets when he is traveling to all these other international destinations that I just mentioned about, and Goa fades in comparison, and if that's the truth, then how should our tourism industry and the tourism ministry then pull up their socks to ensure that they are competing against these international travel destinations?
May I say it with all honesty, and I say it with a little bit of passion, because Goa is my mother land in the sense what I mean. This is the land I come from. Yes, there are certain aspects of tourism that we have to certainly improve, and they are in the process of being improving. You've got roads that are being made better. We are dealing with the garbage situation that gets accentuated because of the high inflow of tourists. You also have the transportation situation, which we are trying to work a solution to as far as the taxis are concerned. We're looking at various aspects. We've got a new airport, which is the Mopa airport, which is doing phenomenally well as far as catering to a large number of tourists, which is why there was a need for an additional airport in close proximity. But let's be clear about one thing. Now, you cannot compare tourism destinations towards each other, because it's like comparing apples and oranges and bananas. Now, you might like to eat an apple, but doesn't necessarily mean you might like to eat an orange or a banana.
No,
So
but
a
all I'm saying is, suppose I have allocated a budget of 1 lakh rupees for my trip to a country of my choice, or to a state of my choice, or a destination of my choice for the holiday period. And if it's the same amount that I have to shell out for my travel to, say, a Goa or a Kerala or Lakshadweep, and the same amount is being charged by my travel agent to book me a travel package to, say, Maldives, would it, I mean, I don't know, I would close my eyes and travel and pick Maldives or a Thailand.
I don't think people might close their eyes and take a Thailand or a Maldives just because the package is the same as the package you would want to go to Goa. The point is defining your travel is solely meant on what is the purpose of your travel at that point of time. If your purpose of the travel is to go to Thailand with a bunch of your boys and have a great time, you might choose Thailand over Goa. But if you want to come with your family and relax over a period of time, you might choose Goa over Thailand. If you want to come into the casino and still have a great time with your family and still go to other, tourist sites like the Dudh Sagar or the religious sites that we have, or the hinterland tourism that we have, you would still choose Goa over Thailand or Vietnam. At the end of the day, the choice is not dependent on essentially the price. The choice is dependent on what you want to do in that particular tourist area.
Okay.
That's how a tourist thinks. I've gone to Dubai so many times, and I plan to take my family there. I don't think they're going to go into Dubai and be wow and say, okay, we spent 6 lakhs. I could spend that 5 lakhs of that money or 4 lakhs of that money going to an Andaman Nicobar or going to a Kerala and ensuring that money comes into our system rather than going to somebody else's system.
Okay, all right. I also have with me.
India,
Okay,
right?
okay. Let me get in my other panelists into the discussion as well. I'm being told that Jack Sukhija, who's the president of the local Goa Association of the HRAWI, also on the telecast with me. Jack, I would first of all request you to fix your frame, because you're right now not visible on my channel. I would request you to tilt your screen so that we can see you properly, and only then can I start a conversation with you.
Is it clear now?
It's not, sir. All right, let Jack fix his screen. Coming back to you then, Savio, do you think, I mean, yes, we talk about tourism and it is improving in our country. There needs to be more that needs to be done. What more needs to be taken care of by the government of Goa, by the tourism ministry, to ensure that people have a good experience, an exhilarating experience when they are spending their 5 days or 4 days, whatever period of time that they come to travel and spend money in Goa?
Tourism in Goa is not one track, and that is where people are going completely wrong in understanding tourism in Goa. Tourism in Goa is not only about the beaches or the booze available or the casinos. There are many facets to Goa.
Yes.
Why tourism has built over a period of time. For example, if you look at it right now, there is an inflow of tourists coming into Goa because of the exposition of Francis Xavier, which is a religious tourism. You have a lot of people coming into Goa from a religious tourism point of view, whether they are Hindus or Christians as well. So there are different facets to Goa. Goa is not a tourism destination anymore of your holiday, New Year, Christmas tourist destination. Goa is a 365 tourist destination. For a person, and you know me, I travel from Delhi to Goa practically 4 times in a month. Every time I'm in a plane, the plane is full of tourists, whether I'm coming from Delhi or Bombay or Bangalore or Hyderabad. Why are people coming into Goa? They're coming because there are different facets. Yes, there could be experiences that some or few of them might have had a bad experience, but that cannot blacklist an entire state or the entire
No, no,
tourism
no,
promise of
absolutely.
that state. In fact,
I'm not saying that because of a few incidents, Goa has been blacklisted. But I'm saying, on a larger perspective, can there be changes brought about in the tourism? The kind of variables that can be provided, the options that can be provided to the tourists. And as you said, Goa is not just about the beaches and the casinos. Goa is about its churches. Goa is about its greenery. Goa is about its hinterland. How can those be, further enhanced?
let me give you an example. Okay, because we are having a lot of complications as far as land availability is concerned to build lot more resorts in certain areas which are considered to be high tourist areas. We have now, as in the government has come out with a program which allows for these ancient homes or whether they were Portuguese built structures or whether they were Indic structures to be converted into homestays in villages, because a lot of people are facing opposition for creating hotels within villages, whether they are in the beach area or in the hinterland area. So we've decided to come up with a unique scheme, which is to make homestays so that people can have economic activity around the homestay. The ancillary services around that particular village can be benefited because of the homestays that are coming in. And most importantly, most foreign travelers and most high net individual travelers are opting for homestay options or ability to acquire or to book a villa for a month to 10 days to 15 days so that they can bring their family with them and have an
Right.
actual Goa experience. The
Okay.
Goa
Yeah,
experience
you're
while in a
absolutely
hotel
right. You're
is
absolutely right. And incessant construction, deforestation, ruining natural habitat is not going to do Goa any good. Also on the telecast, let's hope we have Jack Sukhija on the telecast. Jack, let's hear it from you about the current situation when it comes to domestic tourism versus people vying for international locales, because especially in the Southeast Asia region, because expenses are the same.
So first of all, I think there's been a perception being created that Goa is not as busy or not really doing well. 2022 and 2023 were exceptional years, so those cannot be repeated. But this year also, if you see November, there's been a huge growth. December till 20th December was really good. The peak season, that new year, which if you take a normal distribution of 365 years is totally out of the normal distribution, has not been as great as it used to be. But overall, there's been growth. There have been a lot of hotel chains coming in. There have been tourists coming in. The international market has also revived to a certain extent. TUI has put 4 flights. The English charter company, they're looking to put an additional flight. We've had a Polish charter come in. So there has been steady growth this year. And maybe some of the snapshots which show that roads are empty or whatever, it might be because even Sunburn, which during this period is in the peak tourism belt, has been shifted out of there. And also the tourism department has come down a bit heavily on this, on a segment of tourists who would come just in their buses, park overnight, and eat on the beaches, cook in the open, which is no longer allowed. As well as the fact that in the peak tourism belt, large coaches were not allowed because of traffic congestion this year. So yeah, I think there's still a lot of positive on Goa, and things whatever little course correction has to be done, as pointed out, we will do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, Jack, don't you think that this is better, that there are strict guidelines and rules that have been now implemented by the government, by the law and order agencies, to ensure that Goa remains an attractive tourist destination, that it is not rowdyism and hooliganism that is seen on the streets of Goa. and you get I mean it's for as much for the locals benefit as it is for the tourists who travel from far off places, with not just within the country but across the globe, who are coming and wanting to revel, wanting to enjoy their time, to sit back and relax, and would rather want decongested roads, do not want too much traffic, want places to be less congested.
Yeah, I think steps are being taken in that direction. There's still a lot more that needs to be done, but steps are being taken that, there is this impression, and it always goes, which I think gets the locals anti up, that Goa mein kuch bhi chalta hai. And I think we have now reached the point where we say that, there is a limit, there are boundaries that we will set, and there are some things we just won't tolerate. I mean, if you come as a tourist for 2-3 days and you want to spoil the entire environment, or that is something that we will definitely fight strongly for, because our state, the beauty of the state and the identity of our state is something we feel very strongly about.
Absolutely. All right. On that note, I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast and sharing your insights on this important subject.